So you talked about the songwriting that was part of that. So this single, Find Yourself, that you have written to raise money, how did it all come about?
So the song came about at the start of the first lockdown we had. It was in March 2019. I'm a bit lost at the time. Yeah, so when the first lockdown hit, I was living in Notting Hill in West London. I just moved back to Wales this week, and I was contacted by another singer-songwriter who I'd been talking to a little bit about doing some work with, and she was like, should we do like a virtual writing session and to try and kill the time? So we did a Zoom session. It's my first ever Zoom writing session, which was kind of weird, but we ended up then sending ideas back and forth on voice notes on our phones, like chord progressions and like melodies and things like that. And then over the space of about a day, we both wrote our parts, and then we recorded a live version of it. But at the start, I said the concept for me was that, you know, we're locked inside. We all need to sort of look back on better times, and you know, at one point we will all be together again. So my verse was definitely about my mum and my family, because I was so far away from them and I couldn't see them.
Yeah.
And the verse was a bit more, I don't know what she was thinking about, but it was about those kind of feelings, like melancholy and reminiscing, I guess. So yeah, we put the live version of it out on Facebook, and it had about 500,000 views in about 2 weeks afterwards. It was insane. We were like waiting for it to get up to, it got to like 50,000-60,000. We're like, oh, we may get to 100,000 here. And we were like watching it and we were celebrating when we got 100, and then just kept going and going. And I just knew straight away that the song, you know, it could do something. I had messages from like thousands of shares, and I had messages from all around the world, people who in the same situation. You know, it was like a united thing. The whole world was in the same position, and I think it really helped people at that time. So I had a lot of messages from like South America. It was quite a lot from South America actually, but people just thanking us for it and saying it's a beautiful song. It's really helped them through a hard time. And yes, from then I was like, this song could do a lot more. So I set about recording it for charity, but it took so long. I mean, there's so many obstacles in the way with lockdowns, and
yeah,
couldn't get out. So I recorded the vocals in my spare bedroom in London. So I had to time it between the fast train to Watford, which went past my house, get the vocals in, and then to find a producer as well who was actually working in the studio.
Yeah.
So such a long time, and we kind of got the producer, a guy called Sam Kramer, who works out of Damon Albarn's studio in Notting Hill called 13 Studios. It's where the Gorillas and Damon, they own the studio. It's a lovely little unit on Latimer Road. And we got the song done, and in my head I always wanted a choir in the song, because when I was a kid, my mum grew up in the Welsh Valleys, a place called Blaengarw. My granddad lived there, and as kids, me and my brother would go and play in the snow, especially because you'd have the better snow in the mountains. And we go to the local workman's club, and there'd be guys there. It was smell of stale smoke and stale beer, which was disgusting, but for me, very nostalgic. But they'd always just burst into song, like as a group, and it's a beautiful thing. Only in Wales, I think that happens. So I want to, in my head, picture this, because it's quite an anthemic, melodic chorus. The idea of a big choir coming in at the end. So it took me months and months to try and find a choir that would get together in lockdown, and it didn't happen. I nearly gave up. And because I was target marketed by Instagram, because I kept saying Welsh choir, texting it to people and trying to sort it all out. And the London Welsh Male Voice Choir came up on my feed, and they'd done a virtual session. And I was like, this is perfect. So it was like a Zoom session with all the little tiny windows. I thought this could actually work. So I just messaged them randomly through Instagram, told them what I was about and what I wanted to do, and they got back in touch. And I sent them the song, and they loved it. So the choir master asked me to record a video for the choir. They would send out to all 50 members, which sort of told my story and said what I was doing. So I did that, and they got back to me straight away. I was like, yeah, we really want to get involved in this.
Amazing.
So we still couldn't get them into a room to record, which was the big challenge. So we got every single member of the choir to record into their phone microphone. Their parts of their own, and then we pieced it all together in the studio like a jigsaw.
Wow.
And it was challenging. Well, it wasn't challenging for me, my producer more so, because he had to do all the fiddly bits. But yeah, I mean, considering it's all on mobile phones, it sounded quite good.
That's incredible. And we hear the end product, but we very rarely get to hear what goes into making it happen. I love hearing how the song ideas and then how that all happens, especially with lockdown as well. People have been very creative as to how they've made that happen. It's been great to hear the story behind this single, and a powerful story too. Tell us, where can we find the single and where can people donate to support this incredible charity?
So it's available on all streaming sites and platforms, and we also have a Just Giving link, as you said, which is justgiving.com/fundraising/find yourself. Or if you go to my Instagram page, which is Andy J Huntley, there is a link tree in my bio. Click that and it comes up with all the links to donate and links to the songs and video, and everything's on there.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time. We will put those links in and make it nice and easy for people. And this is your single, Find Yourself. It's going to play us out. Thank you so much for your time and for sharing your story. Good luck with the fundraising, and we will speak to you again soon, perhaps.
Thanks, Zoe. Yeah, I appreciate your time.